We're going to pivot now into a talk sponsored by Better Mode on streamlining the user journey to the user champion. Drew Kreiger is on a mission to help each user in the DataOps.Live community learn, share, and grow. He is the director of community at DataOps.Live with over 8 years of community dev experience. It's lit. Drew has built a program for university students, supported forums, developer-led content, and grown multiple communities to more than 10,000 members while managing large community conferences and all the rest. We know we have all the hats. We've done all the jobs. With that, Drew, take it right away. It is all you.
Awesome. Thank you. Can everybody hear me correctly? Testing out a new mic today. Beautiful.
Yeah, you sound great.
Alrighty. Let me go ahead and share my screen. I am Drew Kreiger, and today I'll be covering the power of a user excellence company, streamlining the user journey to a user champion. Alrighty, let's get right into it. Again, I'm Drew, Director of Community at DataOps.Live. I've been a community professional for the past 8 years, working primarily in the data SaaS companies, Redis, Talent, DataOps.Live, StreamSets, and really companies ranging from 50 to 1,200 employees. And a little fun fact about me, if I was not a community professional, I would be a chef at a fine dining restaurant. I love to cook. I love to eat, like many of us, and I love that experience. Alrighty, let's jump right in. I think one thing that I want all the audience to take is community is not a team. It is a mantra, right? I think us as community professionals, we get very bogged down on just doing, user groups, migrating and creating forms, creating connections, building these user champions. But I believe that a community team should go beyond their department and really work with the company to create this mantra of this user excellence company, right, where community support, customer success, all these things come together to really embody the user of said product, company, community to really shine and become that advocate that we all want these users to be. And really, the biggest thing of this presentation is just trying to give the confidence to you as community professionals also to say, like, yeah, I could do what I've been doing within this department, but there is things beyond that, and how can I add value through that? So what is this user excellence company that I'm speaking of? I believe it's an approach that prioritizes users' satisfaction at every stage of a user journey across all departments, right? Like I just mentioned, community teams can be very siloed. Teams can be 1, 2, 5, 10 people. And we really get focused on what we do within a community department. If it is onboarding a user through a form, getting them into these user groups, so on and so forth in these programs. But how do we take that user journey and make it better for that user throughout, the awareness stage, the decision stage, through, the onboarding, of course, and so on and so forth. So with that, what are some of these benefits of having this user excellence company? I think it really starts with the messaging and efforts that are consistent and concise. Once you come together to make a user excellence company, you're meeting with these departments more often. You're communicating, which ultimately is clear and concise. Second, I would say it pushes these users through the journey a lot faster because of this clear, concise messaging. Everybody being on the same page of what we want, and there's a few other things like champions being found at all these stages of this user journey, right? Recently, I've been really working hard at DataOps.Live to embody and implement this user excellence company and working with support, customer success, and also sales to, make sure that they have the best possible experience. But through that, meeting with them weekly and biweekly, we're finding users that are coming out of the woodwork within the support channels and these relationships that I would love to have within the community itself. So there's a few benefits and a little explanation of what is a user excellent company. And before we kind of get into the weeds, I kind of want to look at the current challenges that we are facing as community professionals. At the top right of the screen is the Community Industry Trend Report by CMX, which is powered by Bevy. We all know, and we should know, about this report. So if you have not participated, I believe they're going to be coming out with one shortly for the 2024. So go ahead and fill it out and kind of give your trends of what you've been seeing and so on and so forth. But your QR code is right there at the top. Two things I really wanted to call out is one being community professionals are confronted and with economic uncertainty, COVID, these other things with going on in the world. But 44% of respondents believe their organization will increase their investment in community, which is down from 62% last year. Right. Let's take a second to think about that. Once was 62, now it's down to 44%. And we as community professionals don't believe that the companies that they're working at are going to invest. So how do we change that, right? How do we embody this information? How do we get these companies that we work at to double down on creating, quote unquote, this mantra, right? And we'll talk about that shortly. But second point I want to make is 59% of community professionals are concerned about losing their job. This is way too high. This is kind of astonishing to me. 59% of us believe this as community professionals. So how do we decrease that? And I think there's ways that we can of creating this user excellence company with working with other departments to essentially provide value within their departments to understand what they need, what they want, and how can we help them. In doing so, of course, we would create this user excellent company, right? The second big thing is community teams are shrinking and they are asked to do more. Community teams are smaller than ever, with 54% of teams reporting that they have at least 2 full-time people on the team. I don't know about you, but I'm a team of 1 at DataOps.Live. The past companies that I've worked at, primarily been a team of 1, maybe 2. At one time it was 5, and that was magical. That was wonderful. But how do we get more team members, right? And again, it goes back with providing value to the rest of the company beyond community departments to understand what their pain points are, what our pain points are within community, and to help each other. So then we ultimately provide more value. The second point here is at the same time, communities professionals are more likely to report that they only have one moderator in the message boards and they're managing events in-house, right? This is essentially, we're being asked to do a lot more with not a lot of resources and not a lot of headcount. So how do we get help there? Again, it goes back to working with these other departments and utilizing them to create this user excellent company so that we all have the same quote unquote mantra, same vision, the same goals. You understand each department pain points, right? And through that, hopefully you do it well enough so support, customer success, support, other marketing teams can help you and become this internal champions within the community itself. Alrighty, I'm moving a little bit quick, but I just want to make sure that we have some Q&A at the end. So how do we streamline the user journey to a user champion? First, I believe it's really getting internal buy-in. And then second is working cross-functionally. And through that, we will create more champions than we hopefully know what to do with. This isn't some secret sauce. I think it's very, very simple. And with given a presentation today of the time that I have, I think this is the easiest way to interpret it. So how do we get internal buy-in? I think it's very simple. We pretty much know how to do this, but there's 4 easy steps. One would be discussing your strategy with leadership, telling them, hey, I want to create this mantra of bringing together all departments to understand, our for the user to understand our value that we provide to them, and understanding the value that I can provide to the community to not only support success and sales and customer success and all those other things. And once we have this understanding and this buy-in from leadership, then we could go to those department heads, right, and understand what they need. How can I provide value to them? Understanding their pain points, them understanding my pain points as a community professional. And then from there, how do we work better together? And then from there, finalize and then present back is number 3. And then number 4, continuously refine and enhance the strategy, right? So once we've discussed with leadership, once we've discussed with department heads, once we've finalized and we're putting it into action, it doesn't stop there. It's constantly evolving, right? And improving this user journey for our users and our community people to really become these user champions, right? So it's not, me work on it, finalize it, and then it's done. We need to constantly be meeting with them weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, however your company, progression goes. But it really is that. So now we have how to become a user excellence company with getting that internal buy-in. Excuse me. And now we're going to look at kind of how to work cross-functionally. And I think we know how to do this pretty well, but I just really wanted to share a team uh, that does this extraordinarily well. One being Lego. Lego has many different facets in their business, being in their movies, the Lego movies, the video games, attractions, and all these subcategories lead into their products, right? Lego focuses heavily on driving a product adoption. They have about 24,000 employees working in these different facets, and they have a revenue of $9.1 billion. So how are they able to not only work well within their departments of attractions, movies, and video games, but they all lead to this product adoption of quote unquote Legos. So they do a really, really well job at that. Now, this is the last slide, and this shows typically a user journey through the awareness through the champion stage. Us as community professionals typically lie within possibly the onboarding to the champion stage, the last two stages. But how do we, as community professionals, bring not only community but customer success, support, sales, marketing throughout each of these, right? And I think it really starts with, obviously the awareness stage of allowing these users to understand that, hey, we are a company that is a user first. We have this mantra of being, developer engineer focused first. We will help you throughout these stages of you onboarding the tool, learning the tool, right, and all these things. And once they have that consideration, it's not just through marketing and sales. It is, not the price and kind of the features, but it's, hey, we will have support 24/7, right? We will have a customer success person there with us. And that starts with marketing materials on websites, content events, those kind of things. But it's really embodying these user excellence kind of mindset, quote unquote, this mantra to really understand and kind of be the champion for each of these customers. And through that, I think pushes the user to become a champion a lot quicker. It creates the less decisions that they need to make, and they understand that this is the next step, and we are hand-holding them to the next step. And through that, you meeting with, again, when working cross-functionally with each of these departments, you find people that are doing great work within specifically the customer success team or the support team or the community team, the sales team, right? And if we were working and discussing and understanding these points in their journey, we could streamline that and then also bring these users to light. For instance, last week I meet regularly with our support engineers, and they had found a user that writes specifically about DataOps, and we are looking at him now to be on our community podcast, and then also write content and potentially speak at events. So it's really, again, working cross-functionally and getting that internal buy-in to not only understand our values that we provide to the user and the customer, but how we can help these users get to the next stage in that user journey without them really thinking about it. So with that, I know that was pretty quick. Again, sorry about the technical difficulties. I'm Drew Kreiger. Appreciate all your joining today, and I would love to open it up to Q&A.
Great, Drew. Thank you so much for that. Ooh, love that image, though. Whatever city is going on back there. Do have a question for you regarding discussing your strategy with leadership. What have you found to be like the crucial points that have to be in that discussion that set you up for success?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is understanding what their pain points are, right? If you go to somebody and say, hey, we're going to change this and we're going to do that, that's never going to work. You have to listen first and then take action. And it doesn't need to be right there within the conversation. I don't think people need immediate feedback, but what I like to do is understand where the company is having pitfalls within the user journey itself, and then go to these departments to understand where I, as a community professional within the programs that I create and run, can help them succeed and specifically their specific journey on that map. So, and once I understand that, then I can provide, value within, hey, this program might help this program might do this and that. And again, the example that I gave is the engineering team having these users that they specifically had worked with, and now this user will write content, produce podcast, and do these great things, and ultimately be that champion for the larger company. We're creating programs where the engineering team can have that easier access of who these users are and kind of have a bank of where we could pull from, and they themselves could create these connections beyond not only from their end but my end also.
Fabulous. Thank you. And I think we've got time for one more question from
Great.
Fuad, who wants to know if we want to provide a good experience for our community members or users, how to do that if many of them are passive.
Yeah, so I think the question that I took from that is really, how do we engage a lot of these passive people, right? Like, how do we get these people engaged to take the 99% of these viewers and to make actionable decisions, right? And I think it's very hard. You can't get someone to do something that they don't want to do, but I think it's providing access and then calling out people and highlighting people, and hopefully over time of providing value and giving access, right? Access meaning ways that they can participate in any which way they can. Hopefully they will, but there's really no secret sauce into getting people to do what they don't want to do. The only thing that I strive to do is provide access, right? If it isn't, if a user specifically, like this gentleman that I shared in this example, is if this user, for instance, he's in Bulgaria, so maybe I haven't met him yet, but this was last week. But if he's not a great English speaker and he doesn't feel comfortable speaking, then let's have him write, right? So it's again this access of opening the doors where he could do what he wants and how he wants, because again, I believe that's what his community is all about, is doing and giving access.
Absolutely. And actually, we do have time for another question, but it's like
Great.
a little bit of an off topic. We've got two off topics if you're into
Great.
it. What are you using to build your presentation? Actually, the people want to know.
It is Canva. So
Canva, and we have Canva representation in the house. So
great.
I'm
I love
sure
it.
I'm sure she'd love to hear that. Secondly,
Yes.
what would you cook as a chef? What's your go-to meal?
Last night I made pasta, which was very easy, very laxed, not hard at all. But
Sure.
I really like to barbecue. That's my biggest thing. I
Oh,
like to smoke. I like to barbecue.
yes.
I really, in the summertime, doing kind of oysters and those kind of
Yeah.
things is really what I love to do. Yeah.
Where do you live?
I live in Lathrop, which is about 45 minutes, about an hour east of the Bay Area in California here.
In Cali. Okay, so you're not even in barbecue alley, as I
No.
like
Yeah.
to refer to it. I was just in Alabama having char
Oh, okay.
grilled
Yeah.
oysters, first
Oh,
timer.
that's beautiful. Yeah.
It was
No,
beautiful.